Is space our final frontier? Or is it a savage land in need to be ravaged by us? And more importantly, is our future destiny in the stars? On a different note, why did Elon Musk, the SpaceX chief, change the name of his planned passenger vehicle to the Red Planet from the Mars Colonial Transporter to Starship? And why does NASA now only speak of missions that are crewed rather than manned? What changed? Are we afraid that creatures on other planets would look at us as human invaders rather than early settlers? Are we not advanced enough to conquer other planets? Are we concerned that our cruelty to our own dear planet Earth would be reproduced in some other form of inhumanity on another planet? Do we view ourselves as colonizers, like the settlers of the early West, searching the universe for terra nullius, planets of opportunity, and outer space lands free to take? Some say it has to be about being part of other planets, as opposed to making other planets part of us. While others contradict, saying, rocks have no rights. I think we're targeting space because we're seeking the possibility of redemption for what we did to our own planet. But I doubt this redemption will ever come. So, are we ready to invade other planets? And more importantly, are we civilized enough to conquer other worlds? Or are we going to be simply invaders of the worst kind? Watch this part 1 of my 57th edition of the Space Explorer report to find out if the truth is still out there. I'm Michael Tafor, and this is my YouTube channel. Space exists mainly in our imagination, and each and every one of us imagines it in a different way. At one extreme, there's Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, who wants to invade Mars to set up his own civilization on the Red Planet his own way. The man who admits he has Asperger's syndrome, which makes him interpret the environment around him differently from other people, has even set up his own cryptocurrency called Dogecoin to be used in space. What started as a social media joke has now turned into the world's 4th biggest cryptocurrency. It has soared by more than 800% over the past month, with its total market value rising above $70 billion, according to the BBC. Musk even seems to be willing to accept Dogecoin as a method of payment for those willing to venture on his soon-to-be space escapades. And on the other extreme, there's everyone else. By that, I mean those of us who still believe the Star Trek franchise-style way, that humanity should unite as one in finding strange new worlds out there in the great beyond. Colonizing other planets is no longer a technological utopia, or some heavenly realm, as the New Yorker described it in its May 11th issue. It will happen soon, any time now during this century. I won't be there to witness it myself, but generations Z and Alpha will be amongst its pioneers. Let's hope that their quest will not be filled with flights of fancy about the future of settlement of space. It all depends on whether Musk will actually succeed in doing his Mars thing or not. Apparently, the manifestation of his own interplanetary reality is happening at whatever cost, and, from the looks of it, he means it.
The Dragon that goes up into space and is going to go up on Monday, correct?
Yeah, that's our Dragon spacecraft, or version 1, which is capable of taking cargo to and from the space station, including biological cargo like fish and mice and that kind of thing.
So when do human beings start going up in it, you think?
So we expect to complete version 2 of Dragon, which will have astronaut transport capability in about 2 years.
From his remote star base in South Texas, he's busy building one spaceship after the other. According to Science Magazine's May 6th edition, the reason Musk got into the rocket business is to put human beings on Mars. Not to drop a flag and go home, but to stay and survive. Musk believes that humankind should exist on more than one planet, and that we should start soon, the magazine wrote. The man, who looks like he's just come out of a comic book, was given $2.9 billion by the US government to develop a version of Starship to land American astronauts on the surface of the moon for the first time since the Apollo program. America has chosen him over the other billionaire, Blue Origin's Jeff Bezos, to build humankind's biggest dream of landing people on the moon by 2024 and then taking them to Mars within the decade. So far, Musk seems to have brought humankind closer than it has ever been in 50 years to reach another world again. If the idea of SpaceX sending people to the moon, let alone Mars, seemed like an abstraction a decade ago, then a decade from now, it might seem like a given, The Atlantic wrote on May 6, 2021. Since December, Musk has been watching his Starship prototypes launch and fail 4 times. But the 5th attempt, which took place on the night of Wednesday the 5th of May, nailed it. As it was designed to do, the spacecraft rose more than 30,000 feet into the sky, quieting its engines as it went, then flipped onto its belly and fell down, before firing up again and righting itself for a gentle landing, like a falling cat twisting around at the last minute to find its feet.
The long-term aspiration is to develop the technologies necessary to transport a large number of people and cargo to Mars in order to create a self-sustaining civilization there. And that's really why I started the company, was because it seemed as though...
To create the possibility for life on other planets.
Yeah.
SpaceX no longer seems to be struggling, or unsure. Now, the opposite is true. Boca Chica, also known as Starbase, has now become the 21st century spaceport, the last stop on Earth before Mars. And this is just the beginning, it seems. The first city on Mars, according to Musk, will be made of pressurized glass domes. We'll terraform Mars to make the planet resemble Earth, Musk was quoted saying.
But I sort of started looking into it, and I went to the NASA website to find out when we're going to Mars. Because it seems like, obviously, that is the next thing after the moon. And I couldn't find anything. So I was like, wow, this just seems very strange. Initially, I was under the impression that it was that we'd lost the will to do that. And I later came to the conclusion that I was quite wrong about that. I think the United States in particular is a nation of explorers.
So you decide you want to try and do this, and do you look at it as why did you decide transport was the most important thing? I mean, I think we would regard living on Mars as
that's the relatively easier thing. Yes, absolutely.
So we could live on Mars. Just getting there is the problem.
Yes, right now getting to Mars is impossible. So it's kind of doesn't matter what you do when you get there if you can't get there.
The 2nd or 3rd richest man in the world wants to turn humankind into some kind of a multiplanetary species, apparently. Like Noah's Ark, Musk intends to carry Earth's plants and wildlife to Mars if a doomsday event wipes out this planet.
I think we could probably send the first person in about 12 years.
Wow. Will you be that person?
Only if I'm confident that SpaceX will be fine if I die. That's, if I was confident that the mission would continue if I wasn't around, then I would do it.
I'm not sure if Musk and NASA the US Space Agency, are trying to inspire us or scare the hell out of us. But they seem intent on building a base on the moon, and someday soon on Mars. And they've made it so far.